Okay, so here we go. We're going to try and do a 8-diamond top string. So if, as you can see, I've got my mesh here, or I'll, um, as you're kind of watching it, you can see it. I'm going to flip the mesh upside down like here. I'm going to fold over 2 rows of mesh. That's why it's an 9-diamond piece of mesh. I'm folding over 2 rows. And this is going to be really interesting because you're following. I'm figuring this out on the fly. I've probably done I've certainly done 8-diamond top strings on a couple of these Gait heads in the past, but it's been a while because I've used 9-diamond mesh before. But this is going to be really interesting. So we've got 10 holes. Obviously, I don't know if this is the first head where I've looked at it in these 2 kind of vents or whatever you want to call them that are in the scoop. I'm sure that they're there because Gait feels like their scoop is stiff enough so that this isn't going to make any this isn't going to cause any problems. It takes a little bit of weight out. Realistically, I don't think it moves the needle as far as decreasing wind resistance so much that it noticeably can increase head speed, thereby shot speed. But so we're going to figure this sucker out as we go. Let's see how we want to do this here. I think I'm going to be using, can I stretch? I'm trying to figure out in my mind looking at the sidewall or sidewall holes here, you can see I'm trying to figure out, there's first 1, 2, 3. I'm only going to use 2 or 3 of the holes here in the sidewall, but I'm trying to figure out, I think I'm going to do just sidewall, so I'm basically tying off the top string on the hole number 2 on both sides. So I'm using hole 1 and 2. So I'm outside in through 2. I'm going to do that. I'm using 275 paracord, but the holes in the Torq, as many other Gait heads you'll see, are a little bit smaller. So I'm not going to double loop start. The top string. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to lock this down here so you can hopefully see it a little bit better. So there we go. Oof. So I kind of want to just make this aesthetically look the way that I want it to. So mesh is sitting right up inside there. Just got to make sure everything sits down low. So with 8 diamonds across like this, it makes it very easy to do a beautiful Liberty top string with a 6-hole scoop. I did a couple of Lakota 3s earlier today. It makes it look really pretty. With 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, it's easy enough to set this up. So I'm going to use, let's say I'm starting right here. I'm going to use 1, 3, 5, 6, 8, 10. So in the typical way that I would do my Liberty top strings. So imagine that I'm not using 2, 4, 7, and 9. Imagine I'm not using 2, 4, 7, and 9. I'm shifting the top string a little bit. So on the 8-diamond row, I'm shifting the full 2 full rows up just a little bit. And so I'm going to, of these, so now that I don't have 8 holes, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So because I've kind of shifted up a little bit, I have 16 holes instead of 8. So I'm going to be going in the even ones, going in that direction. So that would be 1. So I'm down, back to front through 2, front to back through top string hole number 1. So that's 2. So back to front through 4, front to back through top string or scoop hole number 3. Back to front to back through 5. So even though 5 and 6 are very close together, I think it'll end up working out looking really well. So 2, 4, 6, back to front through 8, front to back through 6, back to front through 10, front to back through 8, back to front through 12, front to back through number 10, back to front through number 14, and now we are going to go inside out through sidewall hole number 1 on this side, outside in through sidewall hole number 2, front to back through, I'm not doing so through both of those holes, as you can see, both holes right there, just going through that once, outside in through sidewall hole number 2, inside out through sidewall hole number 1. I'm just going to gently, I'm not going to try to keep things too crazy tight because I got to loosen all that back up in a minute, but there we go. That is how we are going to start off with our top string. This looks like it's loose enough that I probably could have tied my 8 diamond row to sidewall hole number 3, but we're going to see how it goes. I don't think it's going to be a big issue. Now, just starting from the side that I started on over here, I am just going to make sure I'm pulling everything as tight as I possibly can. A little bit loose now, okay, because I will end up, whoops, pulling the wrong thing. Everything is going to get tightened up here once I start pulling down everything on the sidewalls. I'm trying not to. Trying not to get in the way here as I tighten everything up. I am definitely feeling like it was a good idea to only do the single tie off once instead of twice. Okay, so now we're going back in the opposite direction. As you can see, the same thing. I am going in this direction over here. So I'm starting like in a shifted row. You see where there's 16 holes. If I start on this side and go like that, I am going in the even ones again. It's the odd going in the opposite direction, even going this way. So back to front through 2. So let's count. You know what? Just for the sake of it, from starting on this side, I'm going to go back to front through 15, front to back through 10, back to front through 13, front to back through scoop hole number 8. So was it 15, 13, back to front through 11, front to back through mesh hole number 11, front to back through scoop hole number 6, back to front through mesh hole number 9, front to back through scoop hole number 5, back to front through mesh hole number 7, front to back through scoop hole number 3, back to front through mesh hole number 5, front to back through scoop hole number 1, back to front through mesh hole number 3, and we're gonna, this might be a little tricky. So this is something, I think it's an awl. This is I think it's a knitting. It's metal, it's pointed. It's not super sharp, but it's certainly sharp enough. I will use this in certain situations to like go through, just widen out a hole just enough if I can't get strings to go through. So I am As I said before, I am not going to have enough string to double loop finish right here, but everything is more than tight enough so that I don't think it's going to be a problem. So I will do a double knot to finish where I end up over there, keeping the knots super tight as I possibly can keep them to the plastic. And there we go. There is that would be our Liberty Top string in a 10-hole scoop. Remember, we only use 1, 3, 5, 6, 8, and 10. I use 6 holes in the scoop. So if you wanted to copy this top string with Jedi Mesh, you do a 6-hole scoop, bingo bongo. And some other day we will do I'll try using 10 holes or 8 holes or something. I'm not sure. But moving on.